All right, so everybody had a good idea that we're going to run through the FAQ real quick. So what's the dynamic range? We haven't tested this extensively. Everybody disagrees on how to do it properly and a bunch of nonsense, but we think it's around 11 stops. We think it's about a stop better than the original Wave. So far, it seems like it compares favorably, better dynamic range than 5D Mark II, and maybe close to some Blackmagic cameras like the Blackmagic 6K, somewhere in there. Bit depth, it'll be 10-bit for launch. Next question, how does the camera do on FPV drone? We haven't tested it a ton, but Ansel's flying it on his FPV drone and no problems yet. It should be excellent because it has high frame rate, ability to start stop remotely, global shutter, high internal SSD, super robust build. So it should be excellent, but we will continue to let people know as that testing goes on. I'm sure after this thing's out in the public, he'll have a clip a day to be sharing with everybody. What are the can we control the camera remotely? So right now we have start stop working on the roadmap is to do full integration with the Movi Pro, and then we also have the camera app that allows you to control it wirelessly. What are the lens mount options? So the camera ships with a locking E-mount. Kippertie is making a PL and a lightweight PL and a PL with their Revolva system, so you can have internal, I don't know if you want to call it exactly internal, but internal ND, adjustable ND in the lens mount. Why'd you guys build this camera? We built this camera because we saw more opportunity to do a better job than we had done with Wave, and that was exciting to us, and we wanted to get something that got closer to that 1,000 frames a second. Kind of when we're shooting high speed, it seems like there's a bunch of shots that really look great at like 400. And then when you can get closer to 1,000, it really like stops time and opens up a whole new style of shooting, which is really fun. So that's it. And just to challenge and push ourselves, and I don't know, what else are you gonna do with your days if you're not designing and building stuff like this? What's great about it? It's small, it's light, it's fast, it's super easy to use, it's green. What sucks about it? Well, I mean, I wish it had as much dynamic range as the Venice 2. I wish that, I mean, I think that's really about it, honestly. That's the only thing that I wish it had. What's it like to use the app as the interface? It's not fully complete yet, so I can't say for certain. We're testing the components before we bring the whole system together, but I think in the end it'll be excellent. So the thing is, like, everybody shoots videos of their families and their kids with their iPhone. We do that all the time. It's super convenient, super easy to use. And then we also have this life where we go do professional cinema work, and it's a huge pain in the butt to capture and move files around. So we wanted to like collapse those things and create great images, but also make it fun. What button switches, tactile feedback does the camera have? So it's got a slide switch for on and off, a record button, a select button, and then this selector encoder here. So that's it. And then let me grab this guy. Yeah, you can see connectivity. We've got Ethernet, HDMI, USB-C, a GPIO port, and then the power port is a 4-pin microfit. And then we've got this delicious expansion port on the back that's high speed. We got a lot of ideas on fun stuff to do there. Haven't done them yet. And then there's mount points all over the camera that are nice. Let's see, who makes the sensor? So the sensor is made by a company called G-Pixel. It's in their G-Sprint family, which is super high frame rate, global shutter. We love that camera, or we love the sensor so far. It's been really fun. It's also been super fun to work with G-Pixel on it. What's the codec? The codec is Apple ProRes. Be variants of ProRes depending on the frame rate you shoot, from LT to other. What's the HDMI output? HDMI output's 1080. Kind of mounting points does the camera have? So quarter 20s and M3s all over the place. And then we've got NATO rail options that bolt on and allow you to build, big cage if you want to, or a small setup, or quick release to FPV drones, whatever you're into. What's your favorite part about Ember? I mean, I have a lot of little favorite parts, but I think for me, I love some of the stuff we did with the design of the body and the simplicity, just how small and tiny. And, I've been rigging cameras onto gimbals and helicopters for a really long time, and it's always just drove me nuts that all the connectors come out the back. So camera companies come out and they say, oh, we've created this super tiny camera. It's only 5 inches by 5 inches. And then by the time you actually get it rigged up and measured, it's like, oh, well, this cable extends 19 inches off the back. So now this tiny camera is not so tiny anymore. With the placement up on, we call this the top hat, placement here for all the connector inputs, you can really actually have a super small build, which is nice. What's your least favorite part about Ember? I mean, just how long it's taken us to get this thing done is kind of driving me nuts a little bit. So I like to get projects like this done in about a year, and this one looked like it's going to take us about 2. So I kind of think of my life, the unit of time that I measure for my life is how many more projects I can do. And so obviously if you have a project that takes a year, you can do a lot more than if you have a project that takes 2 years, especially when you're getting older. What's the operating temp range? It's going to be 0C to 40C, somewhere around there. We haven't totally nailed it in yet. How much does it weigh? 820 grams. What's the color profile right now? We're going to play around with this more, but right now it basically perfectly matches Rec 709. Who would win in a fight, a llama or a raccoon? Well, llamas are peaceful animals. Raccoons are fearsome, but also some raccoons are getting older and maybe like testosterone levels are decreasing I don't know. Anyway, Ansel's nickname is llama and Hugh's nickname is raccoon. That's why that question's in there. I just bought my Wave Tuesday and I hate you for now making a better product. What are you going to do about it? So if you bought your Wave very recently, like in the last 30 days, just let us know and we'll swap, if you want to swap out for this one, we'll do it. If you bought your Wave older than that, we have an upgrade path to go from Wave to Ember. One thing that was really important from the very start of this program is everybody that supported Wave and helped us to grow a camera division at FreeFly, you got to come along on the ride with us if you want to. So we wanted to, we took huge discount on Ember retail price and gave it to Wave customers. So I hope that helps. That's all we have for now, but we'll make this doc public. People can add questions that they might have and we will be happy to answer them. Bye-bye.